Hi, I'm Curtis Campion of Cafe Empty, and this is the Extinction Club, a fate dating simulator that discovers what you love and kills you with it. In the game, your character interacts with a series of characters that represent the ways in which people derive meaning from their lives. The first fate you can interact with in the prototype is East, who represents charity. East will take you to a part of town full of abandoned buildings. She instructs you to remove the shutters in an attempt to make the buildings more livable. She will also tell you to watch out for tear gas, as these buildings are equipped with a brutal security system. While the game has walking simulator elements, we want each fate to have a unique mix of gameplay elements as well. While this fate focuses on combat right now, to follow East's story, the player will engage in many other types of gameplay too, including simulation, stealth, platforming, and even puzzles. The next fate is Colt, who represents power. His dialogue is darker and more mature. Working with diverse artists, we're pioneering a style of watercolor pixel art. We want each character to have a unique look and feel. For example, Colt stands out for his dark aesthetic and his face mask, which he wears because of a tragic backstory involving a negligent employer. The tone might seem dark, but we want players to feel a little bit better, even if it's just for a little while. Each fate's loop is different, but all consist of engaging in dialogue and completing objectives. Both will progress the story and allow the player to make meaningful decisions. The game offers a lot of narrative choice. For example, in this level, you can choose to defile the graves or not. The game's engine remembers your decisions, and the sum total of your actions will impact the end of the game. For example, you can choose to just stop defiling the graves halfway into this loop, which will affect the story, the relationships, and the ending. In the meta loop of the game, the character can interact with 3 out of 6 fates per day before an unstoppable event ends the human race in 10 days. Since you won't be able to complete all of the levels of each fate in one playthrough, the game encourages replayability. The last fate in the prototype is SKYX, who represents spirituality. The gameplay for SKYX is primarily platforming, but we want it to feel more aspirational than burdensome. The game will use your decisions to craft one of many unique endings. Romance options will also be available throughout for those who are interested. Again, diversity will be at the forefront of the game design. Every detail is important, so the music will also be unique to each fate and will cover genres including lo-fi, rock, and even classical piano. Each time spent with the fates culminates into meaningful moments, leaving the player ready to dive into another adventure. The world is ending, and that's okay.